Oh, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fighting Carrier. Once again, this is Deshaun Bradley. I am back here, ready to go, ready to rock. 7 o'clock right now, Central Standard Time. Man, ready to cook, ready to rock. Man, a lot to talk about. Well, the big thing right now is that we've all seen right now, many of us are seeing right now, is that we, as you can tell by the title, we won this battle. We won the battle of this first round of the TreThe agreement. We have, as brothers and sisters of the postal NALC, we have rejected this. We thoroughly rejected this. This is a contract. We rejected 1.3% raises. We rejected new office time rules, where they will eliminate the fixed office time. We've rejected them accepting TRAP once again. For route adjustments as they continue to make routes longer and longer and come down harder and harder on us. We rejected that. We said that we are worth more than the 1.3% that the post office was trying to get to us. We said no. We said we're not doing that. We are not doing that. So, a lot to talk about, and it is just, oh man, we can pat ourselves on the back. CLC, many others have been out fighting against Renfro, against this agreement, and we can pat ourselves on the back. We've won this war, we won this battle, not the war, because now our next steps will be to continue to push for bigger and better things. And of course, what I can see what's going to happen next. I can see as we go to the next arbitration, which is going to be binding for us. I can see Brian Renfro coming out, lip all poked up like this, poked out, his arrogant look in his face, his narcissism. He's going to come on and say, well, hey, arbitration, this is what they gave us, so this is all we can do. This is the best that they can do. He's not going to fight for us. He's in the back pocket of management. He loves management. Once he's voted out next year, he's going to be right there at the headquarters, USPS headquarters somewhere, doing something. He is not pro letter carrier. He is pro his back pocket. And the executive council, those who support him, in that email thread, they're just as culpable as Brian is. So we got a lot to cover. Some questions we're going to ask ourselves. Who do we trust? Do we trust Brian and ALC, or do we trust Tolino and USPS? Because this week, just like when the agreement came out, you remember when the agreement came out, Tolino already had the paperwork out. They sent the management, said that this is what's coming. This is what the union agreed to. Bam. And then immediately after that, we saw Brian come out and say, no, that's not true. That's not what's going on. Wait until tomorrow when we present the agreement, the contract to you guys. You will really see the truth about it. Okay? What happened Saturday? We saw that what came out on Friday from Tolino and company was exactly what he said it was going to be. When we got the agreement on Saturday, it's like, this is trash. This contract is garbage. The 1.3% raises, trying to use that fake postal algebra that they use for DOAS and PET, try to use that with the pay raises or whatever, trying to count the COLAs in there. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so, who do you trust more? Do you trust Tolino or do you trust Brian? And at this point in time, because even after that list came out from Tolino saying that the council looks like it was we were going to reject the TreThe agreement. Brian came out, email thread, which I have, and I'm going to email all these clowns. But he came on and said, no, this is not true. No, it's not. We didn't say this, blah, blah, blah. And they couldn't find out come today. Boom. It is done. This first round, it's over with. We took care of it. Again, the battle is won, but we got a long way to go. So let me go here. Let me share this with you. NALC In case you missed it, you can find us on the nalc.org site. But let's go ahead and take a look at this together. And let's go down this step by step, because we got to read this carefully and discuss next steps here. So let's go to this. All right, let's take a look at this. As you can see it here, I'm at the NALC website here. And news and information section, January 31st, 2025. Membership rejects tentative collective bargaining agreement. It goes on to say the active membership of the National Association of Letter Carriers has voted to reject the ratification of the tentative agreement, 2023-2026 National Agreement with the United States Postal Service. The vote to ratify was 63,680 to reject it versus 26,304 to accept it. No, I'm sorry. 26,000 people, those of you who accepted this thing, what are you thinking? Do you think the NALC has your best interest at heart? Or are you just saying to yourself, I'm tired of it, I want my back pay? Is that all you're going for, is the back pay? Do you not care about the office rule changes? I mean, some of you probably don't. Some of you probably got a few more months left and you're done. You don't even care anymore. But we got other people here coming up in the ranks that's going to have to deal with the ramifications of a bad contract for years to come. Years to come. You know, in this contract, again, our only defense against our office times was the fact that in my office, we take a break inside the office, which I hate. I really do hate that. But with that break, I mean, we have 42 minutes of fixed office time with that. So we have our fixed office time because of that. But yet our new contract was going to take all that out. And then it was going to change the overtime rules to where, in order for people to survive, they can work 11, 12 hours a day and all that. You know, none of us should have to work overtime in order to have a good living. And then the 1.3%, man, that's just laughable. Compared to the many contracts we've seen throughout these past couple of years, you know, people getting 20%, 30%, 60%, 50%, 10%. Look, even Honda, a non-union organization, even gave their people a 10% raise. A 10% raise. I mean, they've done that, and they're non-union. So you 26,304 people to accept it. Really encourage you to find out why was it rejected. To really ask your members, the people who voted against it, why did you vote against it? So you know, we are very happy. You know, I was looking on all the Fighting Carrier page, the Clean Sweep page, and other pages. I've seen so many people saying they get their ballot. They have already said no. As soon as I got my ballot from the post office, filled it out, no. Mailed it in, did it exactly right per the instructions, so that no way they could say that it was rejected, that I did anything wrong. And I made sure as soon as I got it, I said no. Now, as we continue on here, Brian Renfro issued this statement. NALC has notified the Postal Service of the results of the ratification balloting and our intent to reopen negotiations within 5 days in accordance with Article 16 of NALC Constitution. Negotiations will not exceed a period of 15 calendar days from when they are reopened. The NALC Executive Council will meet to discuss whether to send a second ballot to each member for ratification or rejection of a potential new tentative agreement. So, who knows what they might do? They might try to go this route. They might try to say, well, you know, let's go ahead and send some more ballots up. Let's just try it again. I actually reject that. I reject doing that. We've already spoken once. With more new ballots going out into circulation, I can see some shenanigans going on. I really can. I wouldn't put it past Brian Renfro and them to send more out or whatever, and add the additional 26,000 who voted yes. Add it to this again too. And take away some of those no's right there in order to balance it out. I can see that happening. So I don't, based on the memo that Tolino sent out, and then Brian said, no, that's not true. Only to come to find out again that it was true, that they heard that they were going to lose the vote, the post office, as they're always on top of the game. NALC is always behind. I don't put anything past Renfro and company. I really don't. I don't trust these guys as far as I can throw them. So yeah, I just don't trust them at all. So I don't trust the second ballot if they were to do that. So and then it goes on to say here, with rejection of potential new tender agreement or to proceed to binding interest arbitration, matters under the law, decisions of the arbitration board will be final and binding upon the parties. And so what he's going to say is he's going to come back to us and say, well, hey, just like with the establishment of the CCAs and getting rid of TEs and the 2-tier pay system where you come in losing $13,000 per year or less, earning that versus Table 1 people, they're going to come back and say, because this is what what's his name, Rolando and company, they did. They came back and said, well, nothing I can do. This is arbitration. NLC has already agreed to many of the things that USPS wants to do anyway. So when he comes on and says the arbitration did this, then nothing we can do, he's full of it. Let's put it that way. Put it nicely. He's lying through his teeth. Like I said, I wouldn't believe a word that this man says at all. Because he's on board with USPS management. He loves management. He's probably got a seat ready to go. He's probably meeting at the White House right now. I'm saying, hey, if you get rid of DeJoy or have the board get rid of him, hey, I'm right here next. Let's put me in there. He's probably looking at that position as we know. DeJoy's made over $500,000 a year. He wants that money. He wants that position. Needs to go. He needs to go back up down here to the floor, carry some mail a little bit, get some humility going on. He needs some humility. Now it's here in the other part. This says in Democratic vote, the will of the NALC membership has been made clear. The tentative agreement that represented and this right here. When I read this, I just want to see. I just wanted to just punch. I'm sorry. This statement right here should anger everybody. So it should really anger everyone. I'm gonna read this a couple times. In a Democratic vote, the will of NALC's membership has been made clear. The tentative agreement that represented the best offer the Postal Service put on the table is not good enough for American city letter carriers. We have earned more and we deserve more. That is contrary to what Brian has always said. Brian has mentioned many times before that the post office can't give us any more. They can't do more than this. I've seen their books. This is all they can only give us 1.3%. That's all they can do for us. See, but the post office is going broke. It doesn't matter that we have a pay comparability law that says we need to be paid comparable to the private sector, whether the post office is making money or not. It doesn't matter. We're a service. It doesn't even matter if the post office is making money or not. They're supposed to pay us. But see, Brian has always stated, well, nothing the post office can do. That's all we can do is this amount here and there. So in a Democratic vote, the will of NALC membership has been made clear. The tentative agreement that represents the best offer the Postal Service put on the table is not good enough for Americans city letter carriers. We have earned more and we deserve more. This is the last statement here. Again, I do not trust Renfro at all. He says we will negotiate in good faith with the Postal Service at the bargaining table during the limited time frame set forth in the Nalc Constitution. We call on the Postal Service to do the same. As I made clear since the very beginning of the process, NALC is well prepared to fight like hell for a better contract and interest arbitration. And that's exactly what we will do if the Postal Service is unwilling to reach agreement on terms that fairly compensate and reward our members. And he's full of crap. Renfro is all in to the management argument. He is not going to go in there in good faith. He's not going to fight. He's going to say, hey, we'll just go sit here, drink, have some Chinese, Japanese food. We'll sit back and relax and kick our feet up because, I'm not going to push hard for anything. So it's going to be interest arbitration, and here we go. So that's what he's going to do. But for right now, I don't expect anything better in interest arbitration, to be honest with you. I do expect I do expect that to hop back over here. Let me hop back on this screen here. Turn that off. There we go. Hop back over here. I do think that interpretation, we're not going to get much better, but regardless of what happens in interpretation now, hopefully, well, actually, you know what? I want to say something that may be a little controversial. On the one hand, I don't expect anything to happen in interest arbitration that's really going to benefit us, but I'm hopeful, but I'm not going to depend on this. Okay, depend on this, but I'm hopeful that with this vote, that Renfro gets some humility, that he sees that, wait a minute, 60,000 people said no to this, to my brilliant negotiations. You know, I barely squeaked by. I mean, I got through in Boston, no problem. That was easy. But my carriers here are saying, wait a minute, see, we don't like this deal. I'm hopeful that with this rejection, it's a semi-wake-up call. I doubt it because, you know, with the alcoholism, the drunkenness, he really didn't learn this lesson. He's never really sorry. He's womanizing, all that stuff. He's never really showed any remorse for that. Because as we heard from aid arbitration, Corey, and I agree with him that he's a narcissist. He doesn't care. It's all about him, his ego. But I hope that with this first contract that he tried to negotiate, that he thought it was going to take us to the promised land or whatever. Hopefully he has some humility now and say, you know what? My carriers, my people rejected this contract. Why? What do we got to do to fix this? And I hope that he comes out and say, with these next few rounds or negotiating with the post office, and say, you know what? All right, we got to make some changes to this. We're not doing this. No, this just won't work. This won't work out right now at all. We really need to fix this. Give me 1 second. I gotta run over to my printer real quick and grab something. Hopefully the paperwork I print off comes up. But there's an article that I saw on Facebook. I thought I printed it off, but I've been having a lot of technical issues today. Let me see if I can find it here first. Let's go clean sweep right here. See if he's here. 2 hours ago. See, breaking news. Am I wrong with thinking this? Did we want? Did I get that one? Should letter carry denial? Say letter. I am not seeing what I'm seeing right now. So let me see here. Let me just scroll down here a little bit. Scroll down here. And otherwise, I'll go to my printer, which is in my office over here. And I'm going to see about this article because it made a good point. So, let me see if I printed it out. I want to see if the print off went through. I'll be right back. 1 second. I'm still here. So, let's see here. Did it come through? Okay. Alright. I got some of it, looks like. I got some of it. I don't think all of it went through, though. I don't think it all came through. Let me see here. But I do got the website right here, though. So let me see if I can find this real quick from the... Yeah, I know I'm not a socialist at all, but it's from the World Socialist website. So take that as you will. Let's see, I don't care because I'm non-political. I'm not a registered voter. So, and I have no political biases whatsoever because I'm neutral. Whoever you support, whatever you believe in, I don't care. Me, only thing I care about are the letter carriers. I care about our job. That's all I care about. So anything else, I don't care. I do not care. So that's what you want to do. Do what you got to do. So, okay, so I'm here. Let's see if I can find the article here, because it did make some good points here. Let me see here. See if I can search. NALC. See, because it is, there it is. It's a very good article here. There we go. It makes some strong points here. So let me see if I can bring this up. We can go through this real quick as well too. So let's go back here. So let's capture this display. Right, here we go. And boom. This was actually a day ago. And talking about is likely to be rejected, as you can see here. So let's do this. Let's do this here. Again, we talked about this earlier. Second paragraph, memo purporting to be from Doug Tolino. There's some shared on Reddit in case NALC informed USPS that its members were likely to reject the tentative agreement. So NALC knew that when Tolino sent that out, it was real. Just like the memo he sent out that Friday before the contract was released to us on Saturday. He knew it was. And as mentioned here, the NALC President Brian Renfro called the document fake in a press release. We knew it wasn't fake. But there's widespread opposition to the tentative agreement. We knew that. The agreement, which covers the period from 2023 to 2026, provoked outrage when there's nothing in October. Almost 2 years of negotiations results in includes insulting annual raises of 1.3%. That's what we're mad about, mainly 1.3%. Which constitutes a real cuts to real pay when inflation is factored in. You think about it, inflation is going up like 20%, and they just want to give us 1.3%. Can't survive off that at all. It says, in addition, the agreement includes substandard cost of living adjustments and does nothing to block the major restructuring program called Delivering for America. It does absolutely nothing for that. The union has also renewed the invasive surveillance system known as TRAP. The system tracks letter carriers every movement, penalizes them for stationary events, outside cluster boxes inside apartment buildings. I've got on my route, I have on my route an apartment building where I go inside. It's old folks' home. I go inside, and there are 4 boxes here, 21 apartments, whatever. And I'm there, and then when I'm done, I use the restroom around there. Every day I'm flagged for a stationary event, and every day I gotta tell my supervisor, my postmaster, I'm inside the old folks' home at that point in time. When I'm done there, I go use the restroom. Simple, period. Done. That's where I'm at. But every day I gotta. Usually I just tell him I'm working. Okay, that's old folks' home. I'm working. This is what I say. So it is what it is. I'm working, but they're just in total violation of what it says. They need to no spying, no co-ops on us. They need to visually see what we're doing. They cannot keep going off, but our union accepts that. They accept that. Just keep going for it. One postal worker comment, this is nuts, this can't pass. I'm glad it didn't pass with us. It says here, we live in a country where 12.6% of our citizens get SNAP, which are food stamp benefits, and many of them work for large corporations, including USPS, wrote one worker on Reddit. The federal government should not be subsidizing big businesses. Big business ought to be paying us fair wages. Commenting on NALC's alleged agreement that workers likely would reject the tentative agreement, the worker wrote, I am touched surprised that they didn't rig the vote, and I am too. I am very surprised that they didn't do that like they did against Mr. David Noble there. So whatever its final form, the NALC contract will set the pattern for 2 other major postal contracts affecting thousands of workers. The Rural Care Associations and the APWU, they're working under expired agreements. And ours, is going to set the pattern. Each of the latter unions has failed to reach a new agreement with USPS, which will seek to use the NALC agreement as a template. So we have to get a good one, so everyone else can get a good one. It says if the city and letter carriers reject the tentative agreement, then negotiations between NALC and USPS will give way to binding arbitration. Far from being neutral parties, arbitrators enforce the needs of the government and the corporations. Bargaining arbitration would produce a tentative agreement with merely cosmetic changes, if any. So again, I'm not expecting too much change. I would like for Renfro and them to go in there and change it, but again, the way he's been lying to us, that personally saying that wasn't from Toledo, all of this, I don't expect him to do anything. I really don't. I don't expect him to do anything, make any cosmetic changes. He's just going to just say, hey, this is the best we can do. That's what we got. It says here, the union hopes to use binding arbitration to force workers into a massively unpopular contract while claiming that its hands are tied. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to say, we're going to force you into this. Hey, no, we can do it. We tried to, and it's going to be the same thing. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to vote everyone that's in there out right now. Let's see here. NLC must reject the entire bargaining framework. Remember, we need to reject the entire bargaining framework as illegitimate. It's designed to suppress workers' democratic rights, prevent strikes, and satisfy the financial needs of USPS and letter carriers' expense. We need to have open bargaining. None of this closed door stuff anymore. We need to get that taken care of. Who's ever, Mr. Henry, please reject closed bargaining. You need to open it up. In 1970, President Richard Nixon proposed a 4.1% raise for NALC members, which is more than 3 times what they offer today. That's a shame. In 1970, nevertheless, letter carriers rejected it as unacceptable because inflation has seriously eroded their wages, bringing some close to poverty, and we are there at this point in time. Letter carriers in New York began a walkout strike, defying a ban on such actions by federal employees. More than 200,000 letter carriers and other postal workers across the country joined the strike within 2 days. Falsely claiming they had reached an agreement, NLC officials ended the strike, thus aiding the right-wing Nixon, who went on to reorganize the post office from a cabinet-level department to an independent agency known today as USPS. And NALC is prepared to betray letter carriers in the same way today. And they certainly are. I do agree with that. Brian is ready to betray us once again. He's not going to fight for this. I mean, I will hope that this rejection would humble him, but it's not going to. So don't expect much from arbitration. Let's see here. So as it continues, this is more than the contract is at stake. The future delivery is threatened by delivering for America's restructuring plan, the plan which has support from NALC and both capitalist parties. So both Democrat and Republican, they support this. Many of them do. It's being overseen by DeJoy, a former executive of XPO Logistics. DeJoy declared that it would eliminate 50,000 jobs, close thousands of post offices, and slow mail delivery. And we see that now. Mail delivery is so slow. There's an article I saw the other day that mail packages are sitting there in facilities, waiting to come out, just sitting there, waiting. Delivery is slow. You remember express packages? You used to get those. They used to have different options: 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Now everything is get there by 6 o'clock. That's not express. That's just a regular piece. That's just a regular priority mail or ground delivery. That's not express at all, in my humble opinion. Then it talks about invasive surveillance of workers, longer mail routes, and expanding use of gig workers. Again, the goal of delivering for America is to Amazonify and privatize USPS so they can generate profits. And that's the biggest thing right there. We are the USPS. We're not a business. We are a service. People on Capitol Hill need to understand that. I'm trying to get on Capitol Hill. I'm going to send applications and other plans that I have to Congress and other people who will listen. But I'm working as hard as I can with that. So, all right, this paragraph here. So, whatever the results of the vote on the tentative agreement, letter carriers will need to seize the initiative in their struggle. Having allowed negotiations drag on for years, NALC is now working with USPS to impose a contract that would insult and injure its members. Letter carriers can have no faith in the union, which is true, which also is complicit in the implementation of delivering for America. Previous experience shows the arbitration will produce an agreement that favors the needs of management rather than those of workers. It certainly will. Furthermore, it would be dangerous for workers to wait until the next union election in 2026 in an attempt to oust Renfro. Auto workers experienced with UAW President Sean Fain and UPS workers experienced with Teamsters President Sean O'Brien are one of the latest illustrations that union reformism is a dead end. Yesterday, so-called reformers pushed through massive job cuts at UPS and the auto industry, not lining up to work with Trump. I think in our experiences, I think it'll be different because Henry, I think, and the CLC, they're all rank and file right now, and those are ones who fight. So I would tend to disagree with this. If we oust Renfro and get Henry in and the CLC members in, I think we're going to be just the opposite because we got those people in here. These people in here love the carriers. They love the union. So I don't see if we get everybody out, we're going to end up like UPS and UAW. Here's a point I think I'd like to establish urgent tasks for letter carriers to establish their direct control over their struggle. Workers across the country must establish rank and file committees at their facilities. These committees must be independent of NALC and above capitalist parties. And see, I like this because I would love to be the face of this or in charge of this because, one, I'm not a voter. I have no political affiliation. And I could definitely be independent of NALC. I don't care. I will go against the grain anytime. That's not a problem with me at all. So it says by joining the USPS Workers Rank and File Committee, letter carriers will be able to organize a real fight for livable wages and optimal working conditions. Yeah, I would love to be a part of this and to handle this. And then expand the fight, with the rural carriers, clerks, mail handlers, other postal workers. I mean, yeah. I can see myself leading this or being one of the leaders of this. Because again, I don't care who you are, Republican, Democrat. I have no affiliation with any of you. I don't care. So I'll talk trash about anybody. You have no support. I can't be bought. I can't be bought by any lobbyists. Can't be bought by NALC. Can't be bought by Republican. Can't be bought by Democrat. So the rebellion against the union apparatus is the first step in establishing the working class as independent and powerful force. Letter carriers are part of a broader fight in defense of the rights of the working class, which are under unprecedented attack by President Trump and Democratic enablers. So the fight can only be one that workers first establish their political or organizational independence. Again, I'm independent. I don't care. I don't vote at all. So I don't care who you are, what party you are. That's not who I am. I don't care. So, but I wanted to share that news. We're all excited about that. But again, as I said, this is just the first battle. We have a long war to go. So that's all I got to say. It's now time for me to go upstairs to enjoy family movie night. I got some DiGiorno pizza. We're about to rise up. Popcorn is ready. Got to find a movie for the family to watch. And we are about to have a wonderful evening. So y'all have a good weekend. Watch the arbitration. Watch the lies. Don't trust Renfro at all. Continue to put the fight, friends. Continue to put the fight. No, we will win in the end. But no, this right here just rejuvenated me to keep going, to keep the fight going. So, hey, again, I appreciate everyone here. Y'all have a good weekend. I will sign out right now. Deuces, and I'll check y'all later. All right now.